you for joining me. My name is Stacy and this is Stacilea Beauty. Today we are going to be talking about the website Stylevana and the collection MEMEBOX. Stylevana did reach out to me and let me pick out a few items from the MEMEBOX collection for me to try to give an honest review. They are not sponsoring this video or anything like that, but they did provide these for a review. So thank you to them, but this is my honest review of the items. Do ship from their Hong Kong warehouse. They do have multiple things on the website. I will show you some pictures of the website. There's fashion and beauty. It's all based around the trends in the Asian market. So it's a good way to see what's going on in other parts of the world. They offer free shipping on all orders $35 or higher. So the three items that I picked out is a cushion foundation, a multi-cube that has eyeshadows and blush, and then a lip tint. So if you want to hear about these items and see me applying them, then keep watching. So the two things that I start pretty much every routine with is the Ulta Beauty Brow Tint in medium and the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist in Coconut. I have dry skin and I just find that this helps set in the moisture before I even get started. So those are what's on my face so far. Normally when I'm getting ready, I do my eyeshadows first because I don't either know if there's gonna be fallout or I've used this shadow before and I know that there is fallout. This shadow I have used and there is very little fallout, if none. So today I'm gonna go ahead and do my face first and mix it up a little bit. This is the Pony Effect Everlasting Cushion Foundation. The color I have is Rosy Ivory, and here is what the box looks like. And you do get the actual compact with the foundation, and a refill comes with it. So I think that that's really nice that you get a refill. This is regularly priced $32.89. Right now they are currently having a sale. I don't know how long that sale will last, but you open it up, there's a mirror here. Then you have your cushion puff thing. And it's funny, I used this before, but now when I pull this out, now I think of Tati Beauty and hers. I did not order that, her Blendiful. So let me know if you have, because I'm really interested to see the reviews coming out on that. But anyway, so it has a little puff, and then you flip this open and take off that protective, and then you have the cushion foundation. So that is what the packaging looks like. And I'll just kind of give you, as I'm doing it, my overall kind of grading on each product. I do have dry skin, so I have noticed with the cushion foundation, this was the first time I've used one and I really do like it. Now my forehead gets extremely dry, so I did put extra moisturizer on my forehead because I noticed if you do have dry skin with this, you want to make sure you really moisturize before, because otherwise it will settle into your fine lines. You definitely get more of a coverage if you go in with the poof thing here, cushion. So push that down, that's what it looks like. And then you can pat it on to your skin. There is a little bit of a fragrance scent to it, but it's not very strong. Okay, so let me do my forehead too so you can really see. So I don't have to go in too much, and it covers that. And you can see that you get quite a bit on it. Like, it doesn't really look like necessarily a lot is on the poof thing here, but that covered all of that. That covered all of that. That made sense. Anyway, you know what I mean. Okay, so that is one side if you just use the little poof thing. And then I usually put on foundation with a brush, and I always use the e.l.f. Buffing Foundation. I'm just gonna push it into here, get it on the brush, and my brush is clean. So I've noticed if you do it this way, you do have to go in more times than if you do it with the puff. And I find that you get more full coverage with if you use the puff thing rather than the brush. So if you want a more lightweight coverage, not that you can feel this, but just if you want to see more of your skin through it, I would say put this on with a brush. But if you really want to get more coverage, then use the little puff thing. For today's look, I want to use the puff all over, so I'm just going to go back in and put more on. What I like to do is put it on with the puff and then go back over with my brush and just kind of buff it out anywhere that it needs to. Just kind of pat it all around here. I really like it. Like I said, this was the first time I'm using a cushion foundation, but it is very lightweight on the skin, but I feel like it gives a nice finish and coverage. The packaging, I rank it a B+, and the reason that I do that is because it will get fingerprinted up. And I think because we're so used to a magnetic closure and just it being so like tight closing, that this one, it is closed, but the first couple times, since it does, you don't hear that click, I was like, is it really closed? Or so that's the only reason. But other than that, I really like it. I like that they give you a refill in it, and I like how the box looks. This is nice. You know, sometimes the powder puffs aren't really all that nice, but I really like how this one is kind of like a microfiber, it almost feels like. Another thing that is nice is when you use this all up and your refill, you don't have to re-buy the actual compact. You can buy the refills only for $15.19 right now. And you probably don't really need to put this back on, but I don't know, I always do. And I always put my stuff usually back in the box. Don't know why, but I do. And all the packaging, it is in a foreign language. This is all made in Korea, but like the main, what it is in English, but the directions and everything and the ingredients. But if you go to their website and click on the product, you can see the ingredients and all that in English. So for the color range, I was kind of on the fence. I ended up giving it a B because there isn't a lot of shade ranges on their website. For application, definitely an A. It feels very lightweight. I don't even feel like I'm wearing anything, and I feel like I got a good coverage. Longevity, also an A. I've been able to wear this 7+ hours, and when I did wear it 7+ hours, around my chin was kind of starting to break away, and like the redness was a little showing through, but overall my face still looked good. If I would have used a setting spray, I used the mist, but I didn't do a setting, so I think it would have lasted even longer with a setting spray. I think an A, because you are getting that refill, so it's basically like you're getting 2 of them for that price. Overall, for me personally, I like it. I rank it an A. I think that if you are a darker skin, you might have trouble finding your range. You know, I would just kind of look and see what you can find, but overall for me, an A+. I really like it, and it definitely makes me want to think more about cushion foundation. The line is all MEMEBOX, and this is multi-cube, and the one that I have is all about candy pink. And just to kind of give you some perspective on the size, it's so cute though. Okay, so you open it up, and there's a mirror, then you have 4 shadows, and they say 1, 2, 3, 4, so you kind of know the order to put them in if you want. And then you have your blush. So it really is a multi-cube. And the regular price for this is $20.48. Now, when I did look on their website a couple nights ago, this was on sale for $8.04. So if you want to try it, now would definitely be the time to check it out. See if it's still on sale. 3 other colors available in this. And I am going to, let's see what look we want to create. Also, my brushes are clean. I have been using, I got this in my FabFitFun box. I'll put that unboxing video up above. This is the color switch. This is the first time I've had one of these, and it actually does work, so I like it. This time I'm going to put the ColourPop No Filter in white on so that I can see how that is. These colors aren't hugely pigmented. You do have to kind of build them up a little bit if you really want a highly pigmented, shimmery look, but it can be achieved. But they are just overall, when you put them on, more muted. I find that if you want a really pigmented look, the best application is if you wet your brush and then dip into it, you're gonna get the most kind of bang for your buck, if you would say. It's such a weird saying, isn't it? Sometimes I catch myself saying like good old sayings and then I stop and I'm like, where does that come from? How does that even get started? But a lot of times when you look them up, if you Google like the meanings of them, how they originated back in the day, it made more sense. So on a lot of them, I can't think right now which ones, but I know I've looked them up before and it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush. This is It Brushes for Ulta, and it's just really fluffy brush with number 1, that light tone. That's what it looks like on the brush. And I'm just going to put that above my crease, just as the transition shade. And I'm just going very light-handed and sweeping back and forth. So for this product with the packaging, I give it an A. I think that it's really compact, kind of cute. You could definitely travel with this and do quite a few looks. For range of colors, I always sometimes find range of colors when it comes to eyeshadow palettes a little tricky one to grade it, because you kind of know what you're getting with this palette. Like this palette, it's a mini multi-cube, so you wouldn't expect it to have tons. They do have other colors available. So, but when you pick this out, I'm gonna grade it an A for range of colors, because you have your base, you have a darker color, and then you have a little bit of shimmer colors, and then you have your blush. So really you have what you need here. So I think it's an A. Now I'm going to take number 3, the brown color, with another fluffy brush. This is a pure brush, and we're gonna tap that and put that more into the crease, a little bit above the crease, but I'm not going as high as I did with that other color. And I'm just going in circular motions. So I think that you can see, like, you're getting some color on these, but it's not a huge, you know, bam, in your face pigment. But you're also not getting fallout. And it's nice just to have some kind of more muted shades, and I don't say that in a bad way, but more muted shades that if you want to just, you know, a simple muted look, you could go like this. Or if you wanted to get a little bit more brown, that you can build up. I think it's nice having that flexibility. Okay, so now I'm going to go back with that first brush and the number 1 and just kind of blend this out a little bit more. For application, I'm giving it a B+, and the reason I'm doing that is because, like I said, you do have to work a little bit more to build it up if you want a bright pigmentation, but I feel like it still is a B because it's, as I mentioned, it's nice to sometimes have those more muted colors. I'm gonna try the white concealer again from ColourPop and put that on my lid, see what that does. For longevity, I would say an A, because with the primer, they did last for 7+ hours. The shimmer wasn't quite as shimmery as when I applied it, of course, and that was with an eyeshadow primer, but you did still have some color. So now I'm gonna take, this is actually a concealer brush, so it's a little more dense. This is a It brush for Ulta. I'm gonna go in with number 2 and put that, tap that on where I put the concealer. Price, I'm gonna say a B. If you could get it on sale, it definitely would be good. And $20 still isn't that bad for, you know, a multi-use cube thing. But I just, you know, I wasn't sure. So I was kind of on the fence. I went back and forth on that one, but I settled with a B. Let's go back to the brown color. So I think that you can see, like, you are getting, I'm getting color, but if you really want the differentiation of the colors, you know, like the brown, you kind of have to go back and work on it. And that color definitely looks more shimmery, I feel like, in the pan than on my eyes. Overall, I like it. I'm ranking it a B overall. And like I said, it's just because you do have to work a little bit more if you want kind of that more pigmentation, but that's not always a bad thing. I feel like nowadays we talk a lot about pigmentation and we want everything to be highly pigmented, but I feel like it's nice to kind of have those muted colors. So for eyeliner, I'm going to go in with this brown. I just want to show you that like you could do a lot with this cube. And I'm wetting my brush with, this is Ulta Beauty setting spray, a little sample there, or travel size, more than a sample, I guess. So obviously this is a little bit more work than if you just had a brown liquid liner or pencil, but I just wanted to show you that if you have like a multi-use palette like this, and you're traveling or something and you didn't want to bring a bunch of items, you can use this as eyeliner. It just is a more subtle eyeliner, which personally I like, unless I'm like really wanting to try a wing or something. I like the more muted eyeliner. I usually, when I put on my eyeliner, I usually try to blend it out anyway. So for me, I really like this. If you're using this technique, I always like to just go in on one side of my shadow. So you can see right there, that's where I went in when I wet my brush, because it will change the consistency of your shadows. So just keep that in mind. If you're always going to use that shadow wet, it probably really doesn't matter. But if you want to use it both ways, then I would always make sure you're just going on one side or one corner so you don't ruin the shadow. And then for concealer, actually under eyes, it's kind of strange. I wouldn't normally think to just use the foundation, but I actually liked when I went in using their little puff thing and just put a little bit on here, and then I went underneath my eye, and it looks like it's going to be too dark. Originally I thought like, oh, I need something brighter. I actually like how it helps with my under eye. I think that it helps. This eye has it on and this eye doesn't. Now for the blush, I do really like this brush. It is blush. It is pretty pigmented. So here is, I'm using an Ulta Beauty blush brush. And that you can see. Pretty pigmented, I feel like. You don't have to go on too much with it to get some color. If you like more blush, you can definitely build it up if you want. And then I even used number 1 for a little bit of powder just to kind of finish it off. It isn't like a setting powder or anything like that, and you do have to, I just kind of pinched my brush and went in like this because I just wanted that color, and then just kind of tap that on all over. So it isn't normally what I would look at and think, oh, that looks like a powdered color, but it actually does work if you want it just a little bit of like finish. Absolute favorite thing that I got was the TikTok Tint Lip Cashmere, and the color I have is 014 Love Rosy Cardigan, and I absolutely love this. Definitely my favorite. I really want to look into getting some more of these because just absolutely love this. This is regularly priced $15.17. Here's what it looks like. There is 8 colors available. Overall, I give this an A in all categories. So it has the little foam thing, and you click it to get more color out and then apply it. And I really love office supplies. I always have, and this just reminds me of like a pen or a marker. So maybe that is why I'm so drawn to it, but I just love that. So packaging an A, it's easy to hold, easy to apply. Not too much comes out with each click. Application an A. because it just feels really creamy and soft on. It's not drying at all. Range of colors, obviously there could be more, there's 8, but I think that you pretty much could get what you're looking for, so I gave that an A. Price, I gave it an A. I'm not sure how long this will last, so if this lasts pretty long, like actually to get through it, I think an A, because it's just such a nice application. Longevity, definitely an 8+. I wore this 7+ hours after eating pasta and drinking, and I still had color on my lips. So long wearing, not drying, that is great. And if you want to, you know, a little bit more, you just do it again, and you can build it up if you want. And it's still not drying or like getting, you know, sometimes I feel like if you try to build up a color, it kind of gets like that cakey peeling feeling, you know. This one doesn't get that. I just love it. So yay, yay, definitely love. Again, this is the TikTok Tint Lip Cashmere in MEMEBOX collection. I didn't have any reason to contact customer service, so I can't really grade on that. But overall, I would rank these an A. I am very happy. Thank you to Stylevana for reaching out and letting me try what would I purchase if I wasn't gifted these. Well, number one, I would definitely purchase and highly recommend the TikTok Tint Lip. I just love, love, love this, and definitely recommend checking this out. It is just, I can't describe to you how creamy it feels, but how long wearing it is. The cube, I would probably take this or leave this. I wouldn't repurchase this, and I wouldn't purchase another one. I liked how it looked, and I liked the, you know, functionality of it, but I wouldn't purchase this one. Again, I'm glad I tried it. So if you're looking for something like this, it is nice, but I wouldn't purchase it. Foundation, cushion foundation, I would look into and recommend purchasing this one because of the reasons I gave while I was applying it. I really liked it, and when this one is out, depending on how I still like it, sometimes, you know, when you go through this much, and I have a hard time panning products, I'm trying to, but I do like this one, so that one I would recommend. So if you're wanting to try it and you're not exactly sure which items, you know, I would say probably the cushion foundation and the lipstick would be the top ones that I'd recommend. And then, you know, look at these and see what you think. So really, I did my full face. The only other products that I needed to add today was mascara, the brow tint, and if you wanted a highlighter, you'd have to add that, or a bronzer. But other than that, I got by with a full face using just these 3 items pretty much. I mean, really all I would have had to do is maybe mascara. But, so I think that's pretty good. I'd love to know down below if you have ever heard of the website Stylevana, and after watching these, if any of these products you found was like really stood out to you and you really were interested in. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.